Breaking reports are coming in that the Archwell staff is bolting due to Meghan Markle's unbearable behavior. Could it be because they're in Colombia and they're being used as political pawns to distract from government scandals? Yeah, I don't think that's helping. Welcome to Popcorn Palace. I am Andy Signor, and one of these days, so many people are going to say, I didn't know it was true, Andy, but you were right. And I'm going to say, told you so. Meghan Markle's staff is bolting. This is breaking just now from News Nation and The Scoop, which is a pretty reliable newsletter I've been looking at recently. Last week, Royal Watchers were stunned when the chief of staff, Josh Kettler, quit his high-profile role. Departure marks 9 employees from the couple's Archwell since they arrived in the U.S., total of 18 since it's a lot. Churn and burn rate for what's supposed to be a family-friendly charitable company. Well, why is this happening and what's happening worse? Why such a turnover? My source who worked for the duo says it's Meghan. She's unbearable. She talks down to people and is very condescending. For example, according to the Daily Beast, a photographer interviewed that shot their wedding said, it was incredibly exciting to be asked to be present to the wedding. I had to go to Kensington Palace where I laid out several mood boards in what was their office. Eventually, Meghan walked in, took one look, what I prepared, and said in the meanest way possible, no. Then she spun on her heel and walked out. I was left in tears. It was horrible. Then there's the florist who told the Daily Beast that they were monstered by Meghan after posting an innocuous message on social media trying to source flowers for a bouquet Meghan had requested they make. The florist vowed never to work with Meghan again, despite the prestige associated with such a client. It's like she's pretending she's of the manor born. But people who really are of the manor don't treat people who work for them like that. 100% believe this based on sources I've spoken to as well. And I always invite any sources who've worked for Meghan. I don't burn the bridges. I won't tell anybody. Hit me up. I'm always trying to accrue more insight to really get to the truth behind this story. Maybe you have a good story to tell, a bad story. You can always reach out to me at Andy Signor. Instagram's a good one to try to reach me, or Twitter. My DMs are open. Now, this trip to Colombia, this is clearly part of the reason why, and I can't imagine why, this had to be a big reason why Josh left as well. This quasi-royal tour of their own design to Colombia, which up until a few years ago was seen as safe, but now is racked with drug violence and kidnappings. It really is, guys. I've been looking it up. Like, hold on, here is the, boom. Yeah, it's still incredibly high level of caution, extreme high level of caution to visit due to threat of violent crime and terrorism, which is just odd given his whole, safety of Meghan and acid attacks and all this stuff. And now suddenly, Colombia will be safe, I guess. The couple said they can't ever visit the UK because it's not safe, but now they can. Also, after going to Nigeria, which was ill-advised as well. One of the dignitaries greeting them in Nigeria was, as we remember, Dr. Allen, who was the subject of a federal indictment for bank fraud and horrible things around the country, but they cozied up to him. In the couple's defense, a friend told the Daily Beast the travel to Nigeria was organized by the chief of defense, so blah, 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 blah. Sure. Maybe do some more homework this time. Well, let's see if any of that happens here in Colombia. So as we know, getting to this part, it was invited by the vice president, Francia Marquez, to take part in several events, including a forum against cyberbullying. 2 were set to visit a school in Bogota, where they'll interact directly with students who are exploring the digital landscape and its effects on society. They will also attend a forum on how to promote safe digital environments organized by Colombia's vice presidency in partnership with Harry and Meghan's Archwell Foundation. But here's the problem. Here, News Nation's national security contributor said, this trip is laughable. Our State Department's warning for Colombia is to reconsider travel due to crime, terrorism, and kidnapping. It's important to note that Nigeria, where they recently went, also had the same warning. This isn't the highest warning, but it's high, and they're genuinely concerned with security. This would not be a secure place for them. Certainly, Colombia will provide them with security, I would assume for free, but it's still a risky place to travel. Meanwhile, travel insiders also surprised, saying this trip to Colombia is basically a free press trip. They won't pay for anything, be treated like royals, which they once were. Trips like these are for social media influencers and media, but I guess that's what they are now. Another PR person said they have to be careful. They will be taking pictures with underprivileged children, starting to look like poverty porn. Representative for the couple, of course, didn't respond. But this is very important because now there's all these people in Colombia are upset because they're being used as political pawns to move around to distract from government scandals. So it's weird. It's almost like the vice president of Colombia is like using people to make themselves look better. Sounds like Harry and Meghan. That's what they often do. Now, Meghan's mole said it perfectly. Average monthly salary for a Colombian is $350 USD a month. Facts. I was looking at that. The poverty is extreme. It's on the rise. Literally, the pesos per month is about $2.15 American a day. They're struggling. So they're making $2 a day. But you know what they need? Online safety courses. Like, what the hell? What on earth? Can they even afford the computers, the iPads, the phones, or even the internet to do it? But let's give them online safety lessons across tea and crumpets. Huh. Strangers had to fundraise for Thomas Markle's medical expenses. Preach, girl! And the Colombian taxpayers are getting stuck with this hefty security bill. Facts. Facts. Look at this security revealed. This immense security that's probably being paid by the taxpayers. It's unbelievable. They landed going through the same political turmoil that the government accused in some quarters of using the former working royals as political pawns to obscure a string of corruptions allegations recently. In light of this, they were assigned an immense security presence, 14 car and police van convoys. For what? To go see a bunch of kids at a school? Why don't you donate all the money that was spent on your visit to help 10 schools? You laughable jokes. I'm trying to say nice words. It's unbelievable what they're doing. And she's spot on. And yes, thank you for pointing this out as well, which I was going to do a whole video on, but I wanted to get all of this in. She has spent 72,000 pounds for her wardrobe. Look at that again and really process that. 72,000 pounds for 3 outfits. She did 3 changes on her appearance in Colombia because she had to look, there's a reason you do this. So it looks like it's many days. You've been here for a long time, but she's literally, it's a production trick. You show up, different wardrobe change. All right, we're going to a new place, change the wardrobe. Oh, look, we're here too. It looks like it's a longer trip because there's cameras there, guys. She's doing this for Netflix or whatever. They're recording this for their own personal gain to walk around Colombia and all these people. And oh my God, look how nice. The glamorous outfits were collected. Like, this is sickening. This is sickening that you felt you needed to change your outfit 3 times to expensive outfits to this poverty-stricken, crime-ridden country. But no, we can't afford our own security. We can't afford it. Oh my God, it's sickening as you look at this, and I'll keep you posted. Ends her first day of Colombia with an important reminder in Colombia. The Duchess mentioned one of her charitable motivations. Someone you know is a victim to what's happening online. You know, all you poor kids in Colombia here, you must be really suffering from this, Jesus. And then it's just this puff piece from Vanity Fair and all the quotes and why print? They're not there. They didn't accompany the parents, of course. She's always out there talking about her being a mom is my most important duty. Meanwhile, the kids are never around. And I don't like to point out the kids, but stop bringing up how important your kids are if you don't want your kids in there because you're making them part of the conversation, but they're never around you. So it's a little weird to make it such a talking point. But again, all the stuff, the Nobel Peace Prize, and blah, 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 Colombia's blah, 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 with the Archwell, we will affect change. This is all nonsense. They were greeted by the school's headmaster, and an impressive, smart, savvy. Look at this puff piece. It's all a free press trip, and Vanity Fair, shame on you for just eating it up and making it like not asking the actual tough questions of like, why are you really here? And do you think this money is good use of the country's tax-paying dollars? Why isn't anyone asking the actual real questions? Team Sussex is out there. Look how amazing she's. Oh, she is such a duchess. But is this really helpful? Is this really the do good part of your show up and do good. Because maybe you actually need to look at that motto again that you have for Archwell, show up and do good. Maybe showing up isn't actually helpful. Maybe you showing up is actually doing bad. Maybe people are using you. You don't really care about that because you use everybody. That's what you do. You use grieving parents, you use veterans, all to lift yourself up from a PR standpoint and make yourselves look like royals. But reminder, you're not royals anymore. You gave it up. You want your cake and to have your cake and eat it too. And that's the problem here. You don't get to walk away from the royal life and then create your own royal life. What country are you representing? What lineage? What royal heritage? Like, what is this? The Markle foundrum. I don't know. All I know is there are so many telling points, and this isn't us making it up, being derangers. No, the staff's bolting. This is not, and there are too many people who've brought this up, and I believe it. I've spoken to people. I do believe it. She is unbearable. She's impossible to work for. She leaves people in her wake. She is a narcissist at the highest level. And this trip to Colombia is an embarrassment. It's shameful. They are pawns, but they use other pawns. So they'll happily be someone else's pawn if it helps their pocketbook. And that's what's happening here. Shame on them. I hope the whole country of Colombia unites to come to condemn this visit and tell them to go away. I don't buy it. I'm not accepting it. Check out day one's coverage over there on the left. Thank you guys so much for watching. We got so much more coverage coming to you here on Popcorn Palace.